Good evening, everybody, or at least it's evening for me. Welcome to today's video, which is going to be our much-awaited Season 15 AP Udyr guide. A lot of you guys have been asking for this. If you guys don't know anything about me, I am a true Udyr one-trick over on the North American server. I play over 99% of my games as Udyr. As of Season 15, the highest rank I've achieved is Grandmasters, and as of Season 6, Season 7, Season 8, and Season 9, I was a Challenger Udyr, and I'm excited to climb back to Challenger. We recently made a return to streaming, and as I have now learned, and we'll open the guide by saying this, full AP Udyr is the best way to carry as Udyr in 2025. The reason being is it allows you to take advantage of your whole kit. We'll get into this in a bit, but the other forms of Udyr, including even Hybrid Udyr, which I love if you guys have seen my other guide, can't really, it can't take advantage of the W, the E, the Q, and the R. Full AP Udyr allows you to take advantage of the full kit. I'm going to go ahead and remove the webcam here, and we're going to go through a brief slideshow presentation that I have put together for you guys about how to play it. So I rate in terms of difficulty, this is a 5 out of 5 because you have to really know how to space and play against every single champion in the game, all 160 champions. I consider this a dueling playstyle. You are like fiddlesticks in the sense where you're building glass cannons, so you're very, very squishy. We're not building any resistance items, so you really need to know how to outplay every champion and know how to take advantage of all of your kit as Udyr. Your damage on this build is through the roof. Truly, you'll one-shot some people even with your Q and your Awaken R. Can pump out 100,000 damage per game. I've had multiple games where we've done it. Your durability, as you might imagine, is 0 out of 5. You are not a frontline. You can't really tank anything. Sure, you've got a lot of big shields, and that certainly helps you late game, but you will not be able to tank anything on this build. The versatility is also pretty much a 1 out of 5. While you do have options, usually there are some static, non-negotiable items that we'll go over that you build every single game, meaning it's not very versatile. If you're going to a game as full AP, we're building damage, baby. The fun factor is 5 out of 5. Truly, I've gotten more pentakills with full AP than any other build with Udyr. And if you guys know anything about me, I am all about carrying with Udyr. I want to be the 90% win rate to diamond player, not the tank guy that just spams the meta build. Right? So jumping into this, we're going to go over two things real quick. Your golden matchups and your avoid matchups. Any champion you see on this screen here is going to be a fantastic option for you to consider playing full AP into. There's a lot of reasons why, but namely the champions on this screen are pretty immobile, meaning they can't really run away or they're going to get stuck in your Awaken R if you press Awaken R on them. Or there's somebody like Wukong and Shaco who have clones, so you can just press Awaken R. You never need to guess which one's the real one, and it'll trace to the real one and burn both of them to death. Same with somebody like Teemo, who usually uses his blind as leverage against auto attackers like Tryndamere and Udyr. Guess what? We get to just press Awaken R. That he doesn't have any leverage against us. And then someone like Kindred, hot tip against Kindred. If you ever play against a Kindred, go full AP, run inside her R, pop her R, and then use your Awaken R right as it's expiring. You will literally kill her entire team because they'll all be low on health. And hopefully you'll be smart enough to build Shadow Flame. It is one of the best matchups you can play full AP into. These are the only 6 champions. People ask me, is there any full AP matchups you truly just do not play? Against Jarvan, Gwen, Yi, Fiddlesticks, Xin Zhao, and Viego, I do not play full AP. Jarvan, it's because of his cage. Your R, if you do not know, has a unique interaction with player-created terrain. It will trace around his cage. So, like, if Jarvan jumps on your ADC, you can't press Awaken R and it won't trace inside him. And then if he jumps on you, your Awaken R can't go to the rest of Jarvan's team, which completely shuts down this playstyle. Jarvan is the hardest counter to full AP Udyr. Gwen goes immune. Gwen is immune. Gwen is immune. Gwen is immune. Not fun. Yi is designed to kill somebody like full AP Udyr. You are too squishy. He's immune to slows and he can alpha strike your burst. Fiddlesticks is just a giant crowd control bot, and his point-and-click fear will completely take you out of the game as full AP Udyr. I really struggle in this matchup. Xin Zhao kind of goes immune with his ult, very similar to Gwen, and he jumps on you so he can auto-attack you to death. And Viego will reset a gazillion times on your dumb teammates that are dying before you ever get a chance to Awaken or burn him to death. These 6 champions are the hardest champions for full AP Udyr. Here are your 2 recommended rune pages. People ask me about Arcane Comet and all the other combinations. You know, you've got Conqueror. Truly, if you are playing full AP Udyr, I recommend only these 2 pages. The option on your left is what I recommend to most people 95% of the time. Phase Rush truly is so fun on this playstyle because since we're building Glass Cannon, you need to get a little survivability in there. Phase Rush gives you 75% slow resistance, and if you don't know, all it takes to proc your your Phase Rush proc is one pulse of your normal R plus an Awaken R. So if somebody is chasing you, turn on your R, wait half a second while they're chasing you just to get a single R pulse, then press Awaken R, and you will proc it, and you can run away guaranteed. It also allows you to chase people with your Lightning Q, which will hit like a truck. Axiom Arcanist is required on this playstyle, in my opinion. Even after the nerfs, it's non-negotiable. I've played a lot of different combinations. I've done, the Water Walking. I've done Absolute Focus. I've done Transcendence. I truly think that Celerity and Gathering Storm are your best options because we will be building Death Cap pretty much every single game, which stacks with your Gathering Storm. And the whole point of APU Udyr is to scale. Ultimate Hunter is also a non-negotiable rune alongside your Axiom Arcanist. It reduces the cooldown of your most important ability, your Awakening. If you don't know, Ultimate Haste applies to your Awakening, not your R. And in addition, in order to get any other Ultimate Haste, you have to build Malignance, which only gives 20 Ultimate Haste. This rune gives 30 Ultimate Haste, so it's a no-brainer for me. Cheap Shot or Deep Ward work fine. I actually don't like the Grizzly Mementos. I prefer Cheap Shot or Deep Ward. That's up to you. If you don't like the Phase Rush and you're looking for Arcane Comet or Conqueror and you want kind of a damage keystone, you can try this Dark Harvest setup. I don't like Comet because Comet is kind of random damage, whereas Dark Harvest is selective, especially if you build Storm Surge. Storm Surge plus Dark Harvest gives you a lot of surprise burst damage on low health squishy targets, so I really prefer Dark Harvest over Arcane Comet and Conqueror. The rune page that I take for Dark Harvest is Dark Harvest, Cheap Shot, Grizzly Mementos, or Deep Ward. Again, I actually prefer Deep Ward, so whoops, little misclick here, but you can take Grizzly Mementos plus Ultimate Hunter. Celerity and Axiom are a fantastic secondary rune page. Again, Axiom Arcanist and Ultimate Hunter are non-negotiable for me. Both of these have to be included for full AP Udyr. Here's your item blueprint for full AP Udyr. We love full AP Udyr, and thankfully it's very easy. So first option every single game will be Liandry's, okay? Liandry's is unskippably good, as we call it in my Twitch chat. Your second option will be what I like to call a utility item slot. You will base this item dependent on the enemy team, and in this next slide, we will go through your options. Your third and your fifth option will either be Shadow Flame or Death Cap, depending on what you opt to build. On the left and the right here, I've got some quick little tool tips on how to help you decide whether to go Shadow Flame or Death Cap third. Shadow Flame is better against squishy team comps as a third item option, and it's also good when you don't have a lot of gold. Like, let's say you've got normal tempo, you didn't get a bunch of turret plate something. Shadow Flame is a lot cheaper and a better general option instead of Death Cap. In addition, if you don't get a lot of Magi stacks or Dark Seal stacks, it's not going to make sense to go Death Cap, which is going to amplify your ability power. As you can might imagine, if you have a lot of Magi's or Dark Seal stacks, Death Cap is a great third option because you're going to amplify those stacks. In addition, Shadow Flame third is great if the enemy team does not have many shields. So Shadow Flame crits when the enemy team is low on health, right? If they've got a lot of shields and healing, Shadow Flame is pretty useless, so you're actually going to go Death Cap third. In addition, if your team has a ton of engage, so your team has a lot of coordinated engage, a lot of coordinated burst, Shadow Flame is incredible because it will sync up with the rest of your team's engage and give you a lot of burst damage to finish them off when they're low on health. Death Cap third is, as a comparison, better versus tanky team comps where you just need larger denominator. In other words, you need to pump out more numbers in order to deal with their high health bars. If you don't know, Udyr's R is max health base. So if the enemy team has a lot of high health, aka they're very tanky, bumping your ability power is more important to get that max health damage increased, if that makes sense. Death Cap is also great if you have a lot of amazing tempo because it's 3,600 gold. It's very expensive. If you also went Dark Seal and upgraded to Magi's, and we'll go into this in a second, Magi's can get plugged in the second item slot. If you went Magi's, Death Cap is one of the best options. You can go number 3. If the enemy team have a lot of shields, you're going to, again, need a large denominator to get through those shields, and they're probably not going to be low on health. So, again, Death Cap is going to be a lot better than Shadow Flame, which crits when they're low on health. If your team is lacking engage and you don't have a lot of coordinated bursts, Death Cap also makes a little bit more sense since you need to burn them down from full health. Your second item options, anything in this second or in any of these 6 options here do make sense. It all depends on the team comp you have. So let's go through the general thing. Number 1, if you ever have Medjai's at 6+ stacks or your Dark Seal at 6+ stacks, your first back every game will be 1,250 gold. Build Dark Seal every single game. If you are ever lucky enough to get 6+ stacks, meaning you get a bunch of takedowns, upgrade to Medjai's immediately and go ahead and just take the chance. An old ex-Rank 1 Udyr player used to tell me, and I'm going to pass this along to you guys, that assume you can carry until proven otherwise. Meaning, if you think you've got 6+ stacks, just go ahead and upgrade to Medjai's, see if you can get some more kills, and off to the races you go. You only need 1 more kill to get your 10 stack at 6 stacks onwards, so go for the races. Your other options are Zhonya's and Banshees. If you are behind, these will be your 2 defensive options. I consider these your behind options. Only build Zhonya's and Banshees if you are truly behind and the game is very, very hard, and the enemy team have a lot of assassins or burst damage, what have you. Your even game state options are what I'd like to call these even game state options are your Malignant, Storm Surge, and Cosmic Drive. These 3 options are fantastic if you're just kind of in one of those games where you don't have a lot of kills, you've got pretty even tempo, and nothing's really going on. Cosmic Drive is great against melee specifically because you will be able to kite out other melee champions. Storm Surge is best against mages and ADCs because it will give you a ton of burst damage and movement speed. Malignance is a great general overall option. You can always plug this in, and I would truly recommend Malignance to most of you guys as you're learning this playstyle. It is a great second option. It will reduce the cooldown of your R, your Awakening again, your RR, so it will allow you to have more Awakening cooldowns. As a side note, your tier 3 boots, I only upgrade these at 3 items onwards. I've learned it's better to just build damage despite them saying they're going to be very tempting to upgrade. As you build out your Void Staff, because again, we're going to build Void Staff here, 4th option every single game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like that. We'll obviously get boots earlier on. But after your 3rd item, if you start building that Void Staff, if you get the Blighting Jewel component to Void Staff, you will get actually 21% Magic Pen with your tier 3 boots and Blighting Jewel, which is insane. And I only build defensive boots, again, if I'm in one of these behind game states where I'm planning on building Zhonya's and Banshees, if they are just really fed and I'm behind. Before I get into some gameplay here, I'm going to link just a full game for you guys to watch on the back half of this video. Here are some playstyle touch points that I do want to mention. Number 1, we are maxing R first, E second, W third. You're going to put 1 point in Q at level 1 or 2, depending on whether you start buffs or Raptors and Wolves. I strongly recommend restarting your Raptors and Wolves every single game because we're trying to go for 1,250 gold. If you skip buying potion and you start either Raptors or Wolves every single game, you can get 1,250 gold on your first recall. This will allow you to get Faded Ashes plus Dark Seal, which will be your first back, and that will allow you to start getting Dark Seal stacks and start tempoing your jungle with the Faded Ashes. Another small note I always tell to people learning Udyr at level 6, 11, and 16, your Awaken R, or your Awakening in general cooldown drops, but specifically for this playstyle, you're entirely reliant on your Awaken R, right? Full AP Udyr, we're casting Awaken R and doing big Awaken or AoE damage, very similar to kind of how Karthus and Brand play. At level 6, 11, and 16, very similar to when other champions get to upgrade their ultimate, your Awakening cooldown drops by 10 seconds, so it gets stronger and stronger. At level 16 and 3 items, that is when Udyr, full AP Udyr specifically, becomes OP. If you've ever watched my stream, I say we are trying to get to level 16 in 3 items. Truly, at 1 and 2 items, you're going to feel a little bit weaker. Once you get to 3 items, you're going to smile from cheek to cheek at how much damage you're doing. Spacing is incredibly important. No melee mode, meaning we're not really trying to run up and be the front line. We are trying to stand on our back line and peel and cast Awaken R's with the bait and turn with Phase Rush. In addition, as we mentioned, it only takes 1 R pulse plus 1 Awakening R. You just literally R pulse, press Awaken R, and you get to run away with Phase Rush with 75% slow resistance, and it will help you space extremely well. You are like a Kassadin in terms of scaling, so please take it smart, smooth, and safe. Power farm your jungle, scale up, and consider yourself like Kayle or Kassadin, and you're looking for huge flash plays on Barons, neutrals, and other 4-man dive scenarios. In addition, your Awaken Q scales with AP even at 1 point. Your Awakening, fun fact about Udyr if you don't know, even at 1 point Q, your Awakening scales with level. So even at 1 point Q, please use your Awakening Q for isolated targets, Barons and Dragons. You will start doing like 40% max health damage with your Awakening Q, so you can still duel people. And again, even at 1 point W, up until level 13 or 14, when you start putting points into W third, your AP scales with your shield, so you don't have to put points in W. You'll still be very tanky. Again, I mentioned on the front half of this video how full AP Udyr gets to take advantage of Udyr's full kit, but it's very difficult to play. This is why you get to use Q and W, and then you max R and E first and second. So literally you get to play with your full kit if you navigate it successfully. Other than that, have a lot of fun, guys. Full AP is truly a 1v5 playstyle. I'm going to put some gameplay here to show you how to play it. If you ever need more gameplay, I have a second YouTube channel. Yes, it's called youtube.com/WillieP. And we upload constant daily videos, and I also stream daily, if not every other day. You can catch me on twitch.tv and catch me playing this live in Masters Plus North America. So I don't know if you consider that high elo, but it's still at least Masters Plus. So at least it's somewhat purple borders and above. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you. Let me turn back on the webcam here. Appreciate you guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you made it to this point in the video. It really helps the algorithm. If A, you like, B, you comment, and if you subscribe, I would love to see you in another video. We do all sorts of league content, and I'm trying to grow the channel. I'm a small content creator. It's my dream to hopefully provide content for you guys on a full-time basis, so let's make that dream a reality, yeah? Enjoy the gameplay, and I hope you found this video helpful. Bye! Days when I wish I was still the no-name swinging through Diamond. Nobody knew who I was. Just freaking nothing to lose. Talking shit in all chat because I didn't have a public reputation. Oh, yeah, dude. Rage quitting games with 16 accounts. Not afraid to just show my complete ass. Dude, there are days when I wish that version of Willie could still play, but on stream you cannot be that person. Nor do I want to be that person because, again, as time has gone on, what goes around comes around, and especially in high elo, you learn, like, you literally play with the same grandmasters and challenger players pretty much every season. Of course, new players make it up there. Some players stop playing, whatever, but generally speaking, you play with the same people, so if you burn your reputation or burn some bridges, yeah, it'll bite you eventually. In other words, what goes around comes around. The chickens do, in fact, come home to roost. Looks like we've got some issues here for the mid matchup. Maybe not. We have a Draven top. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe he'll be good against the Aatrox, actually, because Aatrox kind of needs to run in a straight line. And Draven has a lot of leverage in his kit for that. I can't ever get this red buff kite correct. Nice thing is, though, the red buff, it's super easy to kite to the edge of the pit here because you have so much time without your awakening up. Great. My wolves are gone. That's super interesting. So ask yourself, if you're the enemy jungler, what would you do after doing my blue buff? I'll tell you what the optimal play is. But if you were the enemy Warwick, you started my wolves or my blue or whatever he did, what would you do after doing my blue side quadrant? What would be the best play you could possibly do? Because this cheese doesn't happen to me often. I'm not even going to worry about flashing it. I could have flashed it with Phase Rush, but frankly, I don't think it's worth burning there. The best play, recall or do bot side jungle. Go to my blue to protect it. Doesn't H-Arc's designed to kill? So, the correct play is you recall immediately. Right after doing the full quadrant, spend gold, run to your blue buff, kill me with gold spent. That way you guarantee I can't cross map, and you also get a tempo advantage, and you get the recall in super fast, so you can continue power farming. That would be the best way to bully somebody in that position. This guy goes for the bot side gank. If that gank doesn't work out, it's a huge missed opportunity. He ends up getting I think, the kill. Yeah, so good on him. Nice news is, or the good news is, rather, I'm in a really nice spot in terms of tempo because I can just clear down to dragon now. Got a nice little raptor cross map set up. If you don't know, think about it. In 2 minutes when I get done with all this shit down here or whatever, I am eventually going to have to go up to top side by setting it up that to that. I'll be clearing in a straight line if I choose to run diagonally across the map. If not, I can also just recall, but I don't think I'm going to have enough gold for anything that I want. You can go like boots and dark seal if you want. Could maybe even look at taking Warwick's Raptors. They should be coming up. While I wait for that to expire. Let's go check on these real quick lock. Minion wave's already passed. Whenever you walk here, always check for this. Instead of doing dragon, I'll tell you what. Let's just go recall and catch our top side here. This is not an awful back because you can do that and you get a perfect gold spend. Double components. My next back will be 1,300. Now we got a dark seal to start stacking. Not bad at all. Yep. 100% correct, Zay. Ding, 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 ding. I can try and see if this guy's here. I've got the gold spin, and we don't have our mid laner, though.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
Yes, Draven!
An enemy has been slain. Double kill. Ace.
Let's go, buddy. And Talia goes to bot side and fixes the bot side issue. Dude, let's go. And then we clear down to dragon. Get that dark seal stack and let's fucking go, dude. Sounds like bot lane had a nice little party down there too, dude. Draven and I just 2v3'd that, by the way. Literally full body down, no issues. This is why we don't play Caston and solo queue, people. Okay, so Warwick's bot side's coming up. Oh my god, Warwick went top side. Are you kidding me, buddy? Well, give me another 600 gold swing. Technically, the other gold swing was only 400 gold because it was only 2 camps, but each camp is worth 100 gold, but it's 100 gold that he's giving me that I shouldn't get, so it's actually a 200 gold swing each camp you take. Oh, go, 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 the minion wave, go, go. We're actually going to go back around since their bot's missing here. Maybe I hit that blast gun next time.
An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
Good bubble and ult from the Nami here.
Double kill.
Agree. Phase rush, baby. Invest today. If only I had Leandri's, huh? What the frick is going on here? They sent the Avengers, boys.
An enemy has been slain.
Jeez Louise, the Warwick. I'll get boots later. So, if I go straight to grubs, what happens? I think it's the correct thing. He could take my blue side, obviously, but if he does that, I get grubs, which I'm fine with. We might be able to pick this up for free. No! Alright, the burn gets him here.
An enemy has been slain.
Cool, we're gonna go here. I could go take these, actually. I think I'm gonna prioritize getting back down to bot side as fast as possible here. Oh, nice. They're coming up. I think I'll... Let me see if I can get one of these, actually. There's a ward here. I cannot believe he just did that. Alright, I think I'm getting Magi's. Right? Makes sense to me. Why would Warwick ever start grubs knowing he has a Cassidon mid? I don't know, dude. Real question is, why do people play Cassidon?
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Who needs boots when we can just build movement speed in other forms, right? I've got phase rush anyway. Skip the boots. We Gucci. Oh, shit balls, man. I could have turned around to counter gank this.
An ally has been slain.
Looks like Talia's going to go bot here. I guess that's the fun part about having a Draven top is actually we've got a couple ADCs that could be the win condition, you know? I'm actually going to take this minion wave while the rest of my team is messing around bot side or whatever.
An enemy has been slain.
Nice.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Warwick just died and his top side's coming up, so we're going to push this in and then go take his top side. Actually, let's get some turret damage. Why not? They might just let me have it here. Nope. Really good damage, though. Great. All right, down to bot side we go. I think I will get boots here. And then we'll do it like that. And then we'll finish this Storm Surge out next. I love buttering up turrets like that, because if your laner can find it, it's a free 700 gold to somebody, you know?
Destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. Killing spree.
Shame I didn't get the second lightning Q on cast in there. Might have been a kill.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Okay, let's see if these are up real quick. Yep. Udyr can crack open the game with tempo, man. It's kind of crazy quickly. Thank you, Draven, for the help with the neutrals. Holy cow. The first top laner ever to help me with neutrals is a Draven top. What the fuck? What a plot twist, dude. Never would have seen that coming. Great. Avengers, assemble. I'm just going to let them deal with that. I'm going to go here instead. Fun fact, Krugs and Gromp are your first most and second most valuable. So if I was able to steal that there, that would have been insane. You can turn your R on before getting inside this, so it looks, you get your R pulse while you're traveling in it. It's kind of fun. Cool. Let's take these on the way out. I'd like to go take his Krugs too again if we can. I think we can. Great. These Hextech portals mean we can get a super quick recall here. Boom. Get a pink ward, why not? Keep it rolling. Man, this coffee is delicious this morning. I think that's the real secret to success, gentlemen. Delicious coffee. Uh-oh.
Dominating.
Come here, buddy. Put him in the microwave.
Godlike. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Everybody needs a little microwave treatment every now and then. We'll clear up to the Atacon top side here. Heck yeah, Draven. Light it up, buddy. I'll get that red buff in a second here. The idea is I don't want to use the red buff right now. So what I'm going to do is get gold spent and then we'll run. You could even upgrade to tier 3 boots there, but whatever. But see how this extends the duration of my buff just a little bit longer. Ba-bam. Don't worry, boys. I am the Rose King. Thank you, Nami. Great support. Great support. Think we take these 3 things on the way down if they're still up. Nope. I'll just go straight to Dragon, I guess.
An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
That is such a good dragon for our team. Nice, Draven.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Killing spree. Rampage. Double kill.
Crazy part about AP Udyr is you still do like so much damage per auto attack with your AP, and you can press Lightning Q to get a ton of attack speed. So it's almost like you're playing Sheen Udyr, but you're not, you know? GG. Measures before boots, Willie diff. Dude, that 10% measures movement speed are boots, you know what I mean? I don't need much else. I've got Celerity, Phase Rush. We are zooming on that setup. Draven damage is going to be huge here. I was going to say, I'd be shocked if I out-damaged that Draven. Alright.
Dang. Call me so I can make it juicy for ya.